Well, guys, we got Chris's truck here. Well, it's been a little endeavor. I'm trying to get myself to where things are okay if they require a little bit of modification, I guess, right? Because it's day and age of times. So bear with me, you know. I mean, the live feed up there that we do daily, you know, we don't edit that. So there's some, let's just look at around. There's a lot of stuff that's been testing and kind of tough. This spot right here, which is actually good because the factory wire goes on that. That's where it's supposed to be. Now it took me a good minute here. If you look at where that line is routed, the fuel line right here, it goes up under the passenger side. Okay, now getting it to not touch that right there in the intake. Getting it to not touch that. Yeah, it was fun. Right here, it's touching right here, but you know what? It's on the smooth side, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do right there, but, and some of this, we're gonna have to adjust this later. I got it off the Fickum harness, where it's not touching it, which was no big deal, but we've got the heater core tube. So this is gonna have to be final adjusted once it's down, and wherever the heater core tube rests at is where that's gonna have to go, so. Some of the other stuff, it's pretty tight. The regulated return is what I'm getting at. Yeah, it was pretty testing too, because I went to put it on and absolutely nothing was freaking nothing. Every single line on it rubbed on every single thing on it. I think they engineered the kit to, well, they show in the pictures, the instructions of it, that there's no engine harness on it. So they engineered this to go point A to point B without any provisions for the heat shield or bigger bellows in here. If you look, boy, she close. But there's also witness marks from where it was rubbing before. And so we got, let's look in there and see how much there. It's clearanced all the way. And then to get this back line right here to where it doesn't hit the heat shield, and it comes down under there and doesn't hit it, right? And then up under here, okay, so when they, and who knows how much this is gonna move in actual operation. But so they did it without engine harness on it, right? Without a bunch of accessories. And then the afterthought is, at least this is nice wire loom. It's pretty cool, it's nice wire loom. But that was their afterthought. Like, here, go ahead and just put this in all the spots where it's gonna rub. I mean, we didn't wanna go ahead and make it so it doesn't rub on anything. We figure we'll go ahead and throw an afterthought in. So whatever, but like this, right? I had to move this. I haven't quite, I think that's the inlet for the return. But I had to move this because it wouldn't allow with the bank's intake. Okay, now I can go up a little bit more. I haven't tightened this down yet. Let me grab this real quick and let's see how much it moves, because when I first put it on last night, it didn't fit. Like, it was like that. Let's look, let me show you. See, like that's hitting the elbow, that's hitting the fuel filter, that's hitting the filter housing. So it's tight. I mean, so, you know, I'm not done with that. That's what I'm really messing with right now. I got it to where it'll sit down. Now we're got to decide if we're gonna, now I was thinking about it last night. I didn't know how much movement I would have out of this and how much I could tweak it, which I can move it a little bit. Oh, sorry. We can move it a little bit right here. But, I mean, I was thinking we might have to cut a notch out of this thing, just a little one, and then weld it back in. Or shave it, you know, deburr it back there for clearance. But it's looking like we might get away without messing with that. We'll see. Once I tighten this down and we see where it goes, that'll tell us everything. Chris got him a Gates belt. I hate Gates belts, Chris. They suck. No, but I don't know. I've had them that once they squeak, I mean, I've never had, you know, like a compulsive issue with them breaking or leaving you stranded, but they sure are annoying as hell. Oh my God. But, you know, they're normally good for 3 or 4 months, maybe 6 months. And then you'll get a little chirp, chirp, little chirping going on. Pretty sucks. Okay, the grounds. I put some grounds on here. Yeah, I mean, okay, this is where I ran the ground. Now, I look back, and you know, my major question would be, and this is where my skepticism comes in. My major question would be, what is the purpose for the grounds? Okay, that's the major question, number one. Okay, I had to helicoil that one. That one, you could tell, yeah, now I'm not going to bag on it too damn hard, but you can tell that somebody had their hands on that ground right there, because I've actually never had a frame ground strip. Never. Well, if you look down in that one, I had to helicoil the damn frame, which it worked real good too. It actually did, because the whole helicoil went down into the frame, and when you tighten the nut up, it actually sucked everything off. It actually worked really good. That sucker's tight. I bet you could rip the cable in half. But, okay, the grounds. Now, if you guys been watching, remember diesel site transmission that we had issues with. The transmission, from my understanding, now, like I said, I know about half of anything, but it was for torque converter for the ground, for isolation of the circuits inside of it, and mainly like friction, I think, static to release. That's my assumption of it, because diesel site gave me that excuse that it welded the torque converter to the input shaft, that the torque converter welded itself shut, and they said it needed more grounds. Well, here's where I got a ground for you right here. I got one right here going right to the bell housing, which the bell housing goes right in and then hits right, I mean, it doesn't quite touch the pump, but, you know, through, I mean, ground that. Now, there was one on the front, which, I mean, you know, we've got basically all of them. You know, we got that ground going down to the body there. That's a sufficient ground. I mean, if you want to add another one, I mean, you know, I mean, feel free. This one right here, the main one, that's a fat cable right there. I really like that cable, but you know, it's actually was cut, and it's perfect for right there. And it's out of the way of everything. Once the cab goes down, you'll be golden. And that's a fat ground right there. That'll attach the frame right to the transmission. We don't need no more grounds for the engine. I mean, all this talk about, you know, you need more circuits, you need all that. I mean, that's fine. I mean, keep playing with it, add them, but you can add them yourself. I don't really want to mess with that crap. I'm not going to chase fads, because to make stuff actually work does nothing but cost more time. That's all it does, and it's a pain in the butt. But, so, you know, this one right here, adding a ground, if a customer doesn't want to add a ground somewhere, then you know what? I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's where I get borderline grumpy with things, because, you know, I'm like, Jesus. Whether or not it's needed. I mean, I don't want to waste my own time for something that I absolutely feel is not, cost versus benefit is not there, basically. And by cost, I mean time, because time costs, right? So we did get lucky. Look at this. I don't remember what the parameter was, but threaded right in. So hopefully that little one, because these EGT probes are, luckily Chris's look good. I mean, this looks good. I don't remember what the actual probe looked like, how good it looks. I'm pretty sure we left it in. But, you know, BD manifolds there. Gave you the provision, threaded right in. I'm pretty sure it's 8th inch. We did, okay, we did something. Don, those of you guys that remember Don, yeah. Okay, so we do a lot of work with Don. Don's turning into a Super Duty Annex, I think. He's up north, the Iowa line. And he came down, grabbed a Y pipe over the weekend, or yeah, whatever. And come to find out, Chris, you're gonna, hopefully, you know, you believe in our Y pipes just as much as the one that was on it. Because Don actually picked up a Y pipe, and it doesn't have these flanges. Because those of you that remember, Chris's had just a flat stamp right there. They had that over here, which, not that it matters. I mean, who knows, you know. We don't have a big compulsive issue with Y pipe failures on the aftermarket side, I don't think. I don't see a lot of them. You know, not compulsive. I mean, enough to upgrade. And Chris has already had bellows in it, but we don't know what they were, if they were good or not. But his already had updated bellows. Well, Chris was all done on the shelf, and that's the one that somehow Don walked out the door with. So we're gonna go ahead and swap the ones that you had out, because Don's up in Iowa, and he said he don't care. He said they look fine. He'll go ahead and gamble with your Y pipe. What a bummer. But hopefully you would feel a little better about, at least now you got a free upgrade to our Y pipe, because we sold yours. So I mean, we can get it back. You know, it's up in Iowa. Don hasn't put it on yet, but it's not even worth it. I mean, I'll stand behind this one way more than I'll stand behind the one that we was going to bolt on. So, you know, there you go. free upgrade. I just been kind of going through, and on some of these, you know, sometimes it's a pain in the butt to, I mean, there's not anything on this that I wouldn't have wanted to do to my own. You know, we did do the hard, looks like a freaking M&M on the engine block. It's all got a hard coating. It's like a hard, glossy coating. I kind of like it. You know, this is the first one we've ever done black. And honestly, it looks pretty good, but man, painting engine blocks is a pain in the butt. Those of you that have done it with all the little webbing going on it and to try to get all the angles and not have any bare metal showing, it's a pain in the butt. After about 5 hours of just trying to get it all coated with paint. Because I'm not a body shop, guys. I'm not a body shop. I mean, we do rattle can. You know, what do you want me to do? I mean, we can. I mean, we'll put a paint booth in this sucker, but you know how much that's going to cost when you want your engine block painted? I mean, you know, this right here, it's very effective. It works. It'd be all right. Well, I mean, who knows how long it'll last? I don't know. We do put sealant on the oil dipstick hole, which the black paint makes it look really standout-ish, because I put the silicone on after painting it, because that's just the process. And I don't know, maybe I guess I could paint the silicone. I don't know. But, you know, if you got your head down there looking at that dipstick too, because the silicone's not matching or pretty enough, then I don't know. It should stay dry. That's a big one. Chris doesn't really need oil leaks for rust prevention, because his frame actually, I mean, he already came and did it, and it looks great. It's nasty though, boy, to touch it. Oh, it's like almost like tar, and which is almost like the factory coating that they have on it is what it actually kind of feels like. Some of the spots on the grounds, I do grind them off. We'll grind it all the way, and then I'll just put some of the black engine paint on it. So same paint's on the engine. Once again, BD manifolds. I mean, I didn't even open them up all the way until it was time to put them on. They did start painting the surfaces, which is pretty cool. Actually, I mean, I did not clean it off. I left the coating that they have on it, that they have on the surfaces. I kind of cleaned them, brushed them off, made sure they look good, but I did not try to take the black coating off of the manifold when I put it up against the manifold gasket. So I didn't try to take it off. And once again, I mean, they did it. You know, I mean, if anybody had anything to complain, it's that I had to change to a chrome socket, because I normally tighten all these up with impact grade 10s. And it's just a 10. It's not very big, but a chrome 10 is a little skinnier. So if you tighten all these up, that's what kind of bummed me out, was I forgot when I was torquing these. Because it's fine to tighten them up, but to torque them, you need to use a chrome. Chrome fits perfect. The main one's over on the other side, but if that's the biggest complaint you've got, is that you have to grab a chrome socket, we're doing pretty good. And it's down here, it's on this side. You know, whatever. I'm happy with them. Seem good. Wait, let's look at the back here. We ground that off. I did not clear coat back over it. Normally I would, and I might go ahead and do that. Just a quick shot of clear coat over that ground. Just a quick one. Kind of keep corrosion down. You know, it works as good as black paint, but clear coat doesn't gum it all up, making it look all crappy. That's any kind of coating over grounds and connections, especially grounds, because that ground isn't something you're going to be taking off a lot. We still got one more to put on here. Haven't done anything with it yet. That's going to be the factory one going up. And I mean, if you got, yeah, that one, go up to the top. And I mean, if that ground right there, that's a good one. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's where I decided to put it, because it absolutely is in nothing's way, and it serves a wonderful purpose right there. Because we're deficient in everything attached, because all we have are engine mounts and the little ground up top. That works good. I mean, don't you believe that the frame is a pretty good ground connected from there to there? I believe it is. It's a chunk of metal, so we can connect there. Let's see, anything else? I don't know, I'm just wandering around here. Oh, I went through the battery cable and block heater. It's got a factory block heater on it. This was kind of garbled up a little bit. I made it a little tight. See how it angles a little to the side? I made it a little tight, but if it was to get back straight in line, it's almost straight there. I mean, I want to put all the push pins, in a perfect world, we put everything together so it's where it was supposed to be, even all the way down where where the block heater attaches to the battery cable, all the way back to the back, and then you got to deburr out the hanger right there. Got to deburr that hanger out, and then make sure you put the battery cable behind the transmission bracket. That way when you tighten the 10mm there, it does not spin the battery cable bracket, but you got to deburr that little silver piece in the middle there. Otherwise it's a pain in the freaking butt to get on there. By deburr, I'm giving you guys some tricks here, whatever. By deburr, I mean hit it right there with that. Whoa, I'm zoomed in, hang on. Hit it with this right here. Zip, real quick. But, I mean, don't really do that around your expensive ass engine. It has been, this is, you know, with the rods and everything on it, this is a hot freaking, this is a big deal. I'm taking this as a big deal. It's like, and it's almost, I might be overthinking a lot of this, you know, I am, because, I mean, these are the most expensive connecting rods I've ever shoved in an engine. I mean, it is. This is the most expensive engine that we've put together to date. And only because of the sheer price of parts. You know, and, I mean, it might be one of the labor's going to be up a little bit more too. I mean, just, it's going to be. I mean, get used to it. It is what it is. But just because the time to make sure that everything's nice. And if, you know, and this is where I get in a rant. All right, let's get in a quick rant. You're not going to get this for discount auto repair rates. You're not gonna get it. And if that is what you want, take your truck somewhere else. I don't know what to tell you, because I get a little frustrated about it, you know, because I want things to be at least as well as we could make them. You know, I mean, oh, and this line, Jay was over here. Jay does race cars, right? He's our welder. He's who welds all of our stuff up. This line right here, nobody uses that in the diesel world. Jay, I hadn't looked it up yet, but he said that our little vent tube right here will up the fuel pressure as boost goes up. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But if we could tee off to the map sensor and somehow make a clean looking tee that maybe go up and get close to the fuel line and then go right into there. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at what I'm doing, not the camera. But if we did that, from what Jay said, I don't know if that's the truth. Boom, then we can bump it up, and when you're calling for 10 pounds of freaking boost or 20 pounds of boost, it'll bump the pressure up to about 63 pounds or 64. In the book, it said 55 pounds. Now, 55, you can write it. It's like handwritten in the book, like somebody's checking up on me, telling me what the hell this thing needs, whatever. I put it to 62 pounds, and then I took the gauge out because the gauge, we had all kinds of issues. You do not get, if you want to put that in, if you want to put the River City cap back on, by all means. Go ahead and do that. Maybe something will change. And I was going to make a video of it because I built 15 pounds of pressure with this cap on it. Now, because I put the gauge in first, left the gauge in, set it. With this cap on, it was nothing but problems. I swapped out the fuel pump a couple times, had a couple of different pumps. I kept trying in it, and it wasn't that. It wasn't the fuel pump. It was just being a pain in the freaking butt, okay? Basically, I'm running diag, and I haven't even got the cap down yet because we run the fuel pump right now. Like, we'll run it, and so what wound up doing it was I put the entire system back, put the plug in it how it was going to be done, and I went ahead and pressure tested it from the port. That way I didn't disrupt anything. With this on it, built 12, 13 pounds, wasn't it? Probably 12 pounds. And so then we was like, what the hell? Okay, this looks like it should be about the same. And I'm not sure what changed in the operation because we did just put the regulated return on. Not sure what changed with this. But Chris, the what do you want to call it? The labor intensiveness to install this cap on your truck is going to be fairly simple. And I'll try it once we are hooked to the truck because we have fuel pressure gauge right on top of it. So we'll put that gauge on, hook it up. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and everything will work. What has happened to me all day yesterday was I spent all day trying to fight this thing and putting that factory cap on, boom, 60 pounds. Put this thing on, 15 pounds. Pissed me off so freaking much, I said, hell with it. Okay, you can put the cap on yourself if you want it. It's leaving here with that. Or it's being fired up for the initial fire up with that. Now maybe once it's fired up and we're watching for the fuel pressure on the sensor up top, we will try this one more time. If we try it one more time and everything's all good, then we'll all be happy and you can have your cap and the gauge. If it doesn't though, then I'll allow, I'll drop back and punt this. And Chris, you can mess with this whenever, and figure out what's going on with it. I don't know what's going on with it because the fuel filter, I mean, I got the filter out. I mean, if you look at the filter, the old one, look at that. That's the old filter that was in that housing with the River City cap. Yeah, that shows it pretty good right there. Now, what does that have to do with anything? I have no idea. But all I know is when I put this, if I put this, I could go ahead and make this a really longer video, put this back on there with our pressure tester coming out of here, and I could show you what we went through yesterday, but I'm not doing it. Yeah, I don't want to. Well, it's time to keep going. Let's see, turbo inlet pipe, I'm gonna wait on that. We're trying to find some kind of material that we can put in the catch can setup. We got to get some more foam stuff to put in there, and then, yeah, I don't know. So, you know, I'm chiseling away at the punch list. There's a lot of it. Some of it you might not get. Some of it might not be on here. But that's why, I mean, it's taken a long time. It's taken a long time. I mean, I'm like 2 days long, which is weird, but plus you got to remember I can't commit 100% of the time here. And there is quite a bit of time where I want to pay attention to this. So if there are people in the shop, we're in early this morning. We're in a little earlier, but if there are people in the shop, I mean, I know everybody wants to get their trucks back, but you know what? It ain't worth me not focusing on it. So there's a point where if I can't focus on it, I'm not even going to touch it. Like, I'm not even going to touch it because I'll wind up just forgetting something or doing something. So like last night we came here and at about 5:15, we finally got done with everything at the shop, and and Darian had already shut the live feed off, or Julie did, or somebody shut the live feed off. We was gonna, we stayed till about 9 o'clock, just messing with the fuel lines and getting the Y pipe and the fuel lines back there, and just all, you know, just doing stuff. And then when I saw that right there, it was like 9 o'clock. I saw that, I put the studs in and I set it down and it went about a 1/4 inch away from it. I was like, oh, that's great. I was like, we're going the hell home, you know, so, so the very candid, non-edited live feed that we put up that runs every day, all day. Oh yeah, I mean, that is not edited, baby. You're gonna see like all the glory. Cause I've been pissed off at this freaking truck. I've been pissed off at Chris. I'm in here mad. Like, what the hell is this? Because I mean, some of it, and it ain't Chris. I know. Dang it, I know. It's just. I don't know. I wish I could just, you know, put it on there and however it is what it is and let it ride, but I don't know. It sucks. It sucks to actually pay attention. Like this right here is a factory rub point anyways with the EBP. Now, we could try to change the game. You could put something on it, but if this is set right in the first place, we really don't have issues with chafing there. It's when they get messed around with and people run them through wires and they do all kinds of crazy crap with them is when they do it. Look, the EBP or the cam sensor wire will go behind everything. I mean, it will, but it all depends on how you start the engine harness routing, how you route this. Because, I mean, I've seen them where, I don't know how, but there'll be twists in it, and it just, yeah. Anything else? Anything else? I haven't got a clue. Let's look around down here, because, you know, a lot of it. I mean, even the starter, I mean, there's been so much crap, it's just hilarious. The cap wouldn't fit on. Weird, I don't know, whatever. If you ever have to change that starter, you'll see. You'll need a 16 and a 15. But it's all good right now, but the cover snapped on really good, so happy with it. It did look like transmission dipstick tube is, I think we've got an O-ring for it, don't we? Did we get one? I mean, I hate to, once we pull that out though, fluid's gonna go everywhere.
For the actual dipstick tube, or if it's for that.
Oh.
That one down there. He sent that.
Okay, so he's got a lot of
I think I do have an O-ring for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even exactly sure that, I don't know, I'm not a transmission guy, but it probably
dry
does.
last
Does it
night.
have an O-ring, or, because that might
Have
be a
brand
press
new
fit.
tube.
A brand new tube? Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll just put a whole brand new tube in there, because we'll see if it has an O-ring. I don't remember. I don't freaking remember. But, oh, we got this, and I don't know. What do you want to do? Okay, power steering. Power steering. Now, a power steering pump, if we put a power steering pump on it, and it does not whine, go buy a lottery ticket. I will not. There is no more. None. I'm not touching whining power steering. I don't, I don't build the power steering pumps. I don't do it. Look at this. He's got quite a bit of play in it. Let me see if I can pull it out again. It's got the belt tension on it right there. Let me see if I can stabilize the phone and you can see how much it moves. Right there. Ready?
Remember, he said there was something
Right
with
there.
the steering.
Okay, but now I'm telling you, we put a power steering pump on that son of a gun and it whines. I will not touch it. I'm not, because I have chased even Ford. And if you guys got ideas, I mean, shoot, let me know. Like fluid ideas to stop the whine. Because, I mean, what I've been using, Mobile One full synthetic ATF. I've been putting it in it for years, and it worked for years. And it seems like within the last 2 years, there's always a little whine in the power steering. Now, I don't know what they're doing on the reman or if the fluid, So my ears are open if anybody got into that end-all fail-safe cure for power steering whine. That'd be awesome, because... I mean, we purge it. We jack it up, crank the wheel, whatever. Okay, and there's going to be a million of everybody that knows everything about how to purge the system. Come on now, give me a freaking break. I mean, yeah, I got it. There's a lot of different ways you can purge it. And the first one would be jacking it up and cranking the wheel side to side. Slowly, watching for bubbles. Jack it up off the ground, crank it, and then pump the brakes a little bit, just slowly. That'll help to circulate a lot of it. Do that. And I mean, most of it, I don't know, whatever.
Ask Preston about that.
Preston?
Preston's done that.
Preston's done that. Redhead, it seems to be, and there's, we did get a Redhead box for it. Heck yeah. But it does, Redhead will tell you all about it. Oh, I mean, that's the problem that I had with Redhead. That's what made us go to Blue Top. Because the bleeding procedure is the gearbox people's scapegoat. No matter what the hell is going on, they are going to blame it on bleeding procedure. And I found that. And now, granted, we did have one that completely cracked the housing, and they covered that, no questions asked. So I don't want to bag on them too much. But I will tell you that that same one had jumpy steering once we put the replacement gearbox on, and that truck still has lumpy steering as you turn it. And that was a Redhead, and so, I got mixed feelings. I don't even know about Blue Top either. We've done one, and it seems like there is no perfect end-all fail that's going to last forever. This Redhead will wear out just like the factory one did. I mean, it will. It'll get loose. Not wear out, but it will get loose. It's not going to stay tight for the entire longevity of the planet. Not going to happen. It's going to wear out too. Now, maybe... if we could coat the teeth inside of it. Now, I don't know if Redhead does that, whatever. They got all kinds of scientific crap they can do right now. Maybe they can coat it with some hardened material, harder than the gear. I don't freaking know. But, dang, this is a long video. This half-hour video. Holy crap. I'm going to work, guys. There you go. I just walked around. We just, we're working on it. We're going. Tension's flared a little bit when things don't fit. I get all grumpy and crap, but we'll be all right. We'll survive somehow. God damn it. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good day.